y'all come and meeting. It's nothing bad or nothing should be down about us coming in here today, meeting today. Because this right here is people taking a stand today to try to make a change in the community. We seen a problem, we seen an issue that come forth. A lot of people read the newspaper and the article and stuff, and they took the article out of content because they just read the title. You know, they always say never judge a book by its cover, you never judge an article by its title. But a lot of people just read the title and they didn't really understand what it said. It said it was a cry heard around the city. It said it was the shot that was heard around the city. It comes from a saying from back on the Revolutionary War happened, and when there was a battle up there at Concord, the shot that they heard, which made everybody stand up and go into arms and go into war. That's what it meant by that. I'm saying this was the cry that was heard around the city that everybody should know at this time that somebody need to do something. Things need to be changed. When I say that these people are crying out for help, me not excusing any action or anything that they done. What was done was wrong, and they know it was wrong. And Elijah, he knows it's wrong too. I haven't spoke with the other ones or none of that, but I know Elijah knows because I had an opportunity to go meet him as he went to go turn himself in. And I met him, I met his mother, I met his father, and I met his supporting cast around him. He was hurt. He know he made a mistake. He know he messed up. He can't change that. You can't cry over spilled milk. Only thing we can do is get paper towels and clean them up. We can keep talking about the things that's going on, or we can start making action about doing it. We have enough of lip service all the time. We have enough of Facebook politicians. We have enough of people pointing fingers everywhere. At the end of the day, when are we going to start stepping up and trying to make a change ourselves? We can't depend on the cops, the mayors, and everybody do everything in our community, but then we have policies of no snitching, and we have policies that we don't want to help other people out or stop the things that's going on. The majority of the things that are happening into our community is about us standing up and making change into our community. And this is what this program is about right here today. As we call this meeting today, I come up with the idea to come up with 3 different types of committees. 3 different subcommittees that I need the people to sign up from. And the 3 committees will be a career committee. And the career committee will be doing programs like GED programs, job fair, resume workshops, and trade programs. As we know, college is not for everyone. College, everybody can't go to college, just be honest. It ain't for everyone. But a trade program can help change people's lives as well. My uncle taught me a trade when I was a young age. He taught me how to be an electrician. When he taught me how to become an electrician, no matter what I do, I have my own business, I do different jobs, I do different things, but no matter what, I always have a job to fall back on. No matter what, I always have a place to go back to. We started teaching our kids trade program. If you look at the majority of the place where crime and violence is down low, you see that the poverty is low as well. Because when people got money and things on there, it's not as much pain. Hurt people hurt people. We know that in relationships. We accept that in relationship, but we don't want to accept that in life. We don't want to accept what people are going through. These are spiritual battles that people face every day. We don't know who mama's not at home or who's strung out on drugs. But nobody don't say anything about this. These are the things and the opportunities that we need to start making a change on. The other one will be the outreach program, which we do sports tournaments, summits, community events, and trying to help clean up parts of the neighborhood. If your neighborhood's a little cleaned up a little better, then you feel a little bit more proud about it. How can you feel proud of where you at in your neighborhood when you're seeing syringes and you're seeing crack tubes and everything else laying around on the ground, busted guts? When you're seeing houses, abandoned houses that look like people live in there who sell drugs and do things on that part. When people don't even have lights in their home, rats and things going on like that. How can you have pride in your community on that part? But you tell us to take pride in the community and to the Gastonia, to keep Gastonia beautiful, but it's only certain parts of the city that's beautiful. We can call, we can complain to the council people and all that, but at the same time, when are we going to step up as well into a community and start making change also? One thing my friend Brian told me was that he's tired of people always voting and waiting. Why not vote and go do things about it as well? And if you feel like the people that you voted for ain't doing nothing, you do something about that as well. But we can keep talking about it, keep complaining, keep pointing fingers. Again, things ain't going to change until we make a change ourselves. This is our community. This is where we live at. The other part will be mentorship. Mentorship will be like counseling. A lot of people don't like to talk about counseling. They don't like to talk about people going to talk to a psychiatrist or anything like that. When you hear that, you automatically think of the worst, like schizophrenic or someone's crazy out of their mind. But if I go talk to a doctor about my medical and my health issues, don't automatically say I'm paralyzed or anything like that. So why when it comes to a person talking to a doctor about their mental issue, this brain, this muscle that gets hurt through life? Your father left you at an age that was never there in your heart. Your mother strung out on drugs. You were heartbroken. It don't matter what it can be. The littlest things can affect the person. People go to wars and get PTSD. Did I say that right? I go to wars and get PTSD and things like that because of the environment that they're in. What you think happened in this environment that we're in every day that we see as well? When you're raised in an abusive home, When you raised and you seeing your mother get beat constantly. When you raised and you see people getting sold and selling their body and stuff for drugs. When you grow up in a neighborhood, when the only people that you see positive in your neighborhood, who still lives in your neighborhood, either sports, entertainers, or drug dealers. Because everybody else who make it, they move out of the neighborhood. Who was our heroes then? Then when you watch TV, you look at the heroes, and none of the heroes look like us as well. And then, so then who become our idols? The idols become the ones on TV that rap, on the radio station that rap and stuff, that talks about living this life, and they don't even live in the neighborhoods no more they live in. They get their record deal and their contract and they leave the neighborhood. But these are who our kids idolize. These are who our kids look up to because they have nobody else taking a stand and doing anything no more. One thing I had a privilege to do was work with Pastor Spargo at Bethlehem Church once before. And when I worked over there, I seen a lot of things. I saw a blueprint of a well-organized machine that he has over there. One thing that he has over there, he has programs and classes going on every day of the week. So I want to reach out to our ministries, our other churches, and we have enough of churches around the neighborhood to open up workshops and classes that's going on, to get volunteers and stuff going on. Where the drug rehab program at? I hear a lot of people talking about the rehab for crystal meth and for heroin, but worry about the crack epidemic. Because to me, when I was growing up, I only seen crackheads. I didn't see heroin addicts. I didn't see the crystal meths. So how is these problems is way greater than the crack problems? Why is only the drug dealers, only we see the people standing on the corner, drug dealers on one side of the corner? Do that mean that people on Robinwood side of the street and on the other side of the neighborhoods and stuff don't do drugs? Of course they do, but they're not going to have nobody out there selling drugs because their community ain't going to stand for it. Their community ain't going to let nobody standing on the corner long enough to be selling drugs and making transactions. So what do? They go on Cleveland and Ransom, Essence Street, to go buy their drugs into our neighborhoods, into the area, because we don't do anything and we don't say anything. And now, one time I talked to the famous drummer that passed away, Carlos. One day I was speaking with Carlos, and Carlos said something to me that touched my heart. He said, but how can you go to a person who sells drugs and tell them to stop selling drugs without an alternative? How can you tell a person that their whole life and their career is based on this to stop doing this and without giving them something else to do? And that's why we got to give them exit programs. And that's what this a part is about. That's what these committees and everything's about, of building exit programs for these people. Teaching them resume building, teaching them how to get things, priors off their records and everything. Ms. Littlejohn has people that's connected as well who told me that there's a lady that want to teach people how to get their records clean. I have talked to many different other people too as well like Jackie, who have ideas, trade programs and also as well. I don't have to create the wheel. It's not about creating the wheel. It's about taking all these wheels together and putting them together. That's what it's about. It's about using all the different resources that we have coming together. It's not about just one person trying to be in control and take over everything. It's not about one person trying to get shine and one person trying to get clout. Because at the end of the day, while we trying to worry about who look better on TV or who look better in the community or who getting shine just for giving a homeless person $5 on the street, we got 10 other kids getting left behind. We got 10 other kids not having no father figures in their life. I do volunteer work at the Head Start program. Most of these kids don't even have dads. They raised by their grandparents and stuff. I go there to try to read and everything. But then I put on posts, people to volunteer. Hey, who will come out here to be as dads, come out here and help? Hey, who want to come out and do this thing? Nobody do it. They like my post though. They like my picture of me out there helping in the community. They like their things right there. But nobody don't want to do it. But then soon as something go wrong like what happened, everybody want to got a comment. Now everybody is a professor in economics and the government and crime and everything. Let's be honest. It was kids that made dumb mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes too as well. I'm just blessed that they didn't have camera phones by the time when I was young. Let's just be honest. Everybody here did dumb things. But the thing that people don't want to address is, why was a 20-year-old able to go into remedies and be drinking anyway? Where's the accountability of that? How can a 20-year-old buy alcohol? How can a 20-year-old be drunk and be belligerent to the point to do things like that? Now, I'm not making an excuse for him. No, I'm not making an excuse for him. But at the end of the day, everybody needs to be accountable as well. If they can take them dollars of those kids coming in their door, then they can take accountability of making a change in the community as well. Don't just profit off of them. Don't just sit there and get our kids drunk and turn them like savages and then close your eyes when things happen and go wrong. You need to stand up and make a change as well. Everybody should be held accountable. This is the crowd that goes around the city. We all held accountable. I'm held accountable. I have many friends who reached out to me at times, and I'll be so busy with my life and my work and my kids and other things, which I think is important, that some of them, they done killed themselves. They no longer here. that haunts me to this day. That haunts me to this day, the thought that the blood is on my hand. So how many people have we done came in contact with? How many people we done passed every day? How many times that we could have did something different? How many times we could have probably been a helping hand? How many times we could have speak life into a person that we didn't take that opportunity to speak life into that person, or we didn't take that opportunity to go outside of the ministry and go outside the places that we need to go to reach a person? It's no reason, no more excuses for that.